Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kanchi Shah, and I lead content strategy for Strategy. It gives me immense pleasure welcoming you all here to the SalesAcumen Masterclass on effective steps to transition from CapEx to as-a-service solution sales. Brought to you by Dell Technologies, Intel, Strategy, and SalesAcumen. At the onset, we'd like to congratulate you all on your sales success with Dell Technologies during the recent quarters. We know that such an achievement does not come easily and compliment each one of you for your hard work. You are setting a very high standard for others to follow. And we're fortunate to have you as a part of Dell Technologies channel ecosystem and look forward to more success in the future. We'd like to welcome you to the second episode of this high impact virtual sales training and learning opportunity. Attending today's episode and successfully passing the quiz at the end of this episode will earn you a digital certificate from Rain Group for globally renowned for sales trainings and assured gifts for quiz winners. You can address your questions to our speakers using the Q&A option on your screens. And with that, we'd now like to set the ball rolling, and I'd like to invite Mr. Tarun Goel, Country Lead Partner Marketing for Dell Technologies. I'd request him to join us and deliver the welcome address. Over to you, Tarun.
Hello, good day, everybody. So nice to see all of you here. I'm really glad to be talking to you after some time, and I'm really hoping that all of you, your family, friends, and your close colleagues are keeping fine. We are really looking forward to engaging and having this session with you. The session is all about you. It's all about your business, right? It's your business. Make it bigger, make it better, make it more future ready. And that's what is going to be the theme for today's conversation over the next few minutes with some of the well reputed and esteemed coaches in the industry. But before we go any further, what I want to really talk to you about, or what I really want to thank you for, is the amount of contribution, the amount of attachment, the amount of loyalty that you have shown towards the Dell business. With your help, our business has grown significantly large over the last few months. As a result, even your business has also grown, right? It has been a mutual growth relationship. And on that note, I really would like to thank you. How much have we grown? Well, some of you would have seen the notes coming from our country leaders, APG leaders, global leaders. But let me just bring out one or two points, right? Just to show the extent of growth that we have seen, right? Our global revenue went over $100 billion. Just 17% year-on-year growth. Imagine, right? How many companies do you see worldwide who are of this much size and still growing at 15%, 18%, 17% kind of growth, right? We crossed that $100 billion revenue mark for FY22. Channel business touched $59 billion and it grew 27% year on year, right? That is 10% more than the overall Dell business. What does that have to say? That we are growing channel business much faster than actually the overall business, which means that channel is playing more important role in Dell business, which means that we are looking forward to growing more and more business with Dell, right? Or for channel partners. And last but not the least, even the distribution business within channel has grown 33%, which is actually faster than channel, which means that we are looking forward to, we have seen distribution business growing farther, growing faster, and it's kind of contributing to the significant growth that we have seen in the last year. And on that note, let me thank you again for all your business, for staying up, for staying close with Dell, with our business team, with our leaders, and making sure that we get all that is rightfully ours in terms of the market share, in terms of the customers connect, in terms of our presence with those customers and our participation as part of our customers transformation journey. Now, why are we all here today, right? Let me just switch the gears a little bit. SalesAcumen workshop as a unique concept has been worked out to share some learning, to share some content, to share some of the best practices that we have seen in the industry, right? It is not technical learning. It is not about learning the speeds and feeds of the Dell solutions. Of course, they are important, no doubt. But then, how do you position the solutions better? What solutions? You'll definitely learn from our Heroes Exchange program, from our technical learning sessions, so on and so forth. But how do you position them better? How do you make your business, your presentation, your content, your pitch to the customers better, more impactful, more relevant, and more relatable to the customers? That is what the Sales Acumen workshop is all about. It is to help you develop a better acumen, position the solutions better. So, what can we expect from today's session? We have a very specially curated masterclass by none other than Mr. Kaushik. Kaushik, as we fondly call him, is an expert sales coach with over 20 years of experience, right? And what is it that we are seeing in the market? Lots and lots of customers, more and more customers are talking about consuming technology as a service instead of buying an upfront, making an upfront investment. They're talking about consuming technology as a service, paying on a monthly or a quarterly cycle as the consumption goes, right? Now, up until now, we have mostly been used to selling technology as a whole, right? And this workshop, this masterclass, around 45 minutes to an hour, will tell you how to make that transition, how to make the customers realize the value of as a service. Of course, they do realize, but how do you transition our pitch, our proposition, our value proposition to make it fit what the customers are looking for? That's what is the masterclass going to be all about. Next, it's not always about just learn, right? Not always about scratching your brain cells and then trying to make a business pitch. What's business if there is not enough of fun element in that, right? And hence we have organized a small fun oriented quiz. We call it Quizomodo. Uh, and we'll have Alok to come and administer the quiz, get you all ranking those gray cells which are outside of your business pursuit, right? And I'm sure you're all going to have a lot of fun with that. And last but not the least, based on the masterclass, based on learning that you will have with Kaushik Da, there is going to be a small certification that you can use as a part of uh, your resume, as part of your capabilities, as part of a validation. Validate yourself that guys, I have done a Rain Institute certification, which is something that is unique, being offered just by Dell by in participation with strategizing for the Sales Acumen Masterclass. As a recommendation, as a takeaway, what I recommend you to do: one, proper planning is the key. Take away from here: plan your customer pitch better based on the learning that you have in this session or any other session that you are going to have with the Dell leaders and other leaders. Have a clear objective: what to be pitched, why it is supposed to be pitched that way, how you're supposed to pitch it, and to who you're going to pitch. Your pitch will vary based on whether you're talking to the CIO or to the IT user. Your pitch is going to vary based on whether you're going to pitch a capex solution or an apex kind of consumption. Why you're going to pitch it? Is it the right solution that the customer is looking for, or is it the right pitch that you should really like to make? So on and so forth, right? Have those questions clearly answered in your mind before you actually make that pitch. That's how you make the maximum impact, right? Go in, punch, come out. That's what this learning is all about. Have an early partnership with your stakeholders within your organization's ecosystem, with the customers, and more importantly, with the Dell team. Have an early partnership to make sure that you have all the right information at your tips, have the right proposals in place to improve your success chances, to improve your winning ratio. And as a result, you will be able to maximize your throughput. As a result, you will be able to get maximum bang for the buck, right? None of us want any of our proposals to go and fail. The idea is all about every opportunity, every pitch, to make it as impactful as it can be to result in a win. On that note, let me close my session, and I would like to hand over to Kaushik Das to take you through the masterclass, and really wish you all the best with that learning session, and wish you a great time with the quiz and beyond. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much, Tarun, for that wonderful kickoff. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now move forward to the Sales Acumen Masterclass, focused on the 4 types of sales objections and how to overcome them. Led by Mr. Kaushik Chatterjee, advisor, strategy, and a renowned business coach. Over to you, Kaushik.
Hi, it's so nice to be back out here in the next masterclass. And this is Kaushik Chatterjee from Rain Group. And this time we're going to talk about something that happens in all of your lives, yours and mine, all sales professionals. And that's about sales objections, guys. And in this next 45 minutes, we're going to understand, the different nuances of sales objections. We're going to go a little deeper in the psychology of this, and maybe also check on some quick tactics and techniques on how do we respond and manage sales objections. But before that, let's look at something that's very similar and can relate it to sales objections.
Hi. Hi.
Is there a problem, sir?
Yes. A quick question about the final total.
Yes.
You see, yeah, we didn't budget for this.
Excuse me?
This was marked 1999.
Yeah.
Well, I've only got $7 set aside for this.
So what are we gonna do today?
Well, I'd like the highlights, but for now, I can only pay for a trim.
Okay, so today we're only gonna do the trim?
No, the highlights, but I can only pay for the trim.
I mean, how much at the taco stand? Was what?
About $12.
Yeah, right. About $12.
Sir, we're not the taco stand.
You know, it was, I had beef, same thing as I had here.
You had the filet.
Yeah. Cow.
Okay, let me make a phone call, see what I can do. Maybe I can get you $8.50. Can you do $8.50?
I'll pay for the highlights next time, but for now, I need you to just go ahead and throw them in.
So basically you want me to work for free?
No, I don't want you to work for free. It's just a test. That way I can see if my husband likes it, and then you can roll the cost over until the next time I need color if he likes it.
I went through in line items some of the stuff that we would just remove.
I'm not making any money on this either. You gotta help me out.
We got a discount bin.
I know, I've checked the discount bin, but I want this one. We can do this. This is not a challenge. This is an opportunity.
We tried, 3 entrees?
Oh, yes. You ordered 3 entrees, sir.
Yeah, we ordered, but it's order mean eating. Yeah, we ate one of them.
What's your name?
Todd.
Todd. You gotta work with me.
That one's $19.99.
Mike, come on, let's do this. Let's do this.
Dude.
Well, I can cover your hard costs, but that's really as far as I'm willing to go.
I'll give you $8.50 today. I'll come back next Tuesday. We're gonna make it up on the next one. What do you say?
What?
Excellent. We'll go ahead and we'll pay this time, but what we're gonna need you to do is show us how you made it, so we can do it on our own in-house from now on. You did? It's a great dinner.
Lovely. So 3 situations, one in the restaurant, one while in a retail store, and the other one in a hairstylist. And all of them, they wanted to do more with less. And there was a seller struggling to understand, the rationale, the real reason of such a hilarious proposition, right? People saying, we just need to do the highlights now and come and, and I'll pay for you the trim part of it, and I'll come back next time and, get to do this. So does that happen to you also? Do these situations seem familiar? If they're familiar, sometimes they're ridiculous too. And how do you deal with these situations? This is about, guys, objections. Let's say you have been stitching together an opportunity to modernize a factory infrastructure. And this entails a bit of hardware refresh, some applications shifting to the cloud, and maybe strengthening the security at the multiple edges. It has taken 4 months for you and your solution team to present an optimized solution and a compelling commercials according to you that seems acceptable to the IT manager and the IT head. Incidentally, a new finance head has just joined in. And The IT head reports to this new guy. Now, you have been asked to present your solution to this finance head who understands business and possibly a bare bit of technology. At the end of 10 minutes of your presentation, this new guy, he interjects, jumps up, signals a stop and says, hey, Kaushik, this may be exciting, but I don't see a business case. We don't have a fraction of the budget that you are indicating. And guy, I have seen a more cost-efficient solution from Dell in my earlier organization. So I suggest, go back, review, and maybe you can come back if possible. Does this situation sound familiar? So objections. Objections are an explicit expression by a buyer, by a customer, that there is a barrier between the current situation and what needs to be satisfied before buying from you. So you are sitting on the edge. You have a feeling that the deal is going through, but there is still a barrier that exists between the current situation and what needs to be changed, what needs to be done, what needs to be satisfied before they go ahead and buy from you. And are objections a good thing or a bad thing? Definitely they are good, because it signals that the customer is contemplating, they're thinking hard about how they might engage you or buy your products or services. So guys, objections are always a great thing to happen. Now let's look at 4 types of objections. They come in many shapes and sizes, but they all boil down to 4 categories. The first piece is a need objection. If you recollect our value proposition, the why act, the important question of why act portion of the value case is weak. So the prospect does not yet recognize or does not yet admit the need to solve a problem. So there may be a need that you see. You are seeing a need to modernize the factory, but until the new finance head sees it, you won't be able to sell. So there is no compelling why act. That part of the value case is weak. Then you got something called the urgency objection. The buyer does not see why the issue is pressing. Why now? The second most important question, why now, is missing from the value case. Modernizing now, what is the impact of doing it now versus doing it after 6 months, 12 months? That entire piece is pretty much missing from your value case. So the prospect does not yet see the impact or doesn't think the impact is worth the effort to achieve it. Until you establish the impact, he won't see the value. The third type of objection is trust. And that's the all-important question of why trust substantiation is missing from the value case. And the prospect has fear, he has doubts or misgivings. He or she may doubt you, your solution, or your company. He may perceive risk and fear loss if the solution doesn't work out. And sometimes objections, such as price objections, are not what they seem. A lot of it is hidden around this mask of why trust. And the fourth part, obviously, is conventional and the one that is overtly spoken. And that's the money objection. Here, the prospect communicates that money is going to be an issue. She doesn't have the budget or can't find the funds. So the key point is that each of the objections could be of any of the types. So therefore, you need a process to discover what the real objection is. And we'll take a look at the process. If you go by this abbreviate, it's NUT, and I call it S in the sense dollar. So the 4 types of objections are nuts, NUT, and the dollar part of it. Now let's look at a process. There's a 4-step process. Listen, understand, respond, and confirm. Looks very simple. And guys, it is simple enough. The process works for any objection, but specific responses will vary depending on the objection. So let's come to the first part of the process. Listen. Listen fully to the objection. Your first reaction when you hear an objection is maybe jump in right and respond immediately. Resist this temptation. When you react too quickly, you are risking making assumptions about the objection. You heard the finance and said, we have a fraction of the cost. And you may jump in quickly and say, but sir, we had been working with your IT head for 3 months and he was okay with the cost. Yeah, he may be. And maybe the price is actually not the right objection. So when you are reacting too quickly, you're risking making a lot of assumptions that price is the one thing that the gentleman is pointing to. And that's not true. So what do? We take the time to listen to the objection fully. Listening is a key attribute of a modern seller. Listen with your eyes, listen with the heart, and listen with your ears too. Physical calls, virtual calls, you need to be listening intently. Number 2, don't react defensively. Don't put up a defense. Don't be on the other side of the boxing ring. Right? Be at ease. Prepare the mindset that the customer has raised an objection. He is definitely keen to take this forward, but there's a barrier which I need to be, as a seller, uncover and make it happen. Train yourself to ignore any negative emotions you may be feeling. There could be anger, there could be a sense of betrayal, there could be driving me mad, crazy. This guy's freaking out beyond what he deserves. Just ignore any negative emotions. Now, that's easier said than done, but I think that's what a mindfulness will do. Just be aware, be in the presence. We are not fighting a personal battle. You are representing your organization, and you are actually helping your customer to solve a problem or to seek a bright future. So train yourself to ignore any negative emotions you may be feeling. And stay focused on what the buyer is saying and the business problem you are helping to solve. And this is key. And that's where, as sellers, one of the important competencies that you need to develop is your understanding of the customer's business. Because you are solving a business problem or you are projecting a better business scenario for the future. These are the only two motives or reasons that they are going to buy. So try to have a great understanding of the business problem. What does modernization of the factory entail? Is it that 60% of the produce gets into exports and modernization has become as a compliance need from their buyers? Is it that there are more stakeholders working from anywhere, logging into the system? And is that security on the ERP is now so intrinsically important? Is it that they just had an attack and they had to pay some ransomware? Understand the business problem that you are helping to solve. Listen with the intent of fully understanding the buyer's concerns. I'll repeat, with the intent of fully understanding the buyer's concerns. Please dedicate the time and space for the buyer, for the customer. Do not carry a bias. Do not carry an anticipation. A lot of times when we have pre-conjectured mind that, this guy looks like the gentleman that I met earlier, and he is going to be like this, there's a bias. But this organization always does this. I also showed something in the pipeline last year and didn't go through. So there's a bias. These guys will be like this. No, work without a bias. And don't anticipate. When you're in the conversation, don't anticipate as to, oh, he's now talked about price. He's now said cost efficiency. He says doesn't make business sense. So the next thing that he's going to say is get out of the door. No, don't anticipate what the customer is going to say. Just be present. Having a focused presence is a great virtue for an individual and of course for a seller too. And allow your body language and verbal confirmations to communicate to the buyer that you are listening intently. And while that's a subject by itself, and I'm sure, show that keenness, do those fillers, aha, maybe sometimes just stop and interject and say, did I understand you correctly? Do I have a permission to ask a question? Right? And your body language should be very comfortable. It's not that on the other side of the boxing ring you are defending the blows, right? Or it's a master slave mindset that's happening. Sir, whatever you say, I'm at your mercy. Absolutely not. You need to be comfortable, poised, under control, very dedicated, focused, and present, and willing to serve the customer. So that's the listening part of it. Let's move to understand. Understand the objection completely. Now, many objections, they hide underlying issues that the buyer can't or is not ready to articulate. Sometimes it's difficult for them to articulate. Right? Maybe it's difficult for the finance head to articulate that he has joined new with a promise to completely disrupt the way IT procurement happens in this, especially in terms of budgeting and financing. Right? Now, that's something he has given the MD a lot of emphasis and highlighted his past achievements. Now, that's something that he cannot say that, one of the KPI agendas that I have is to slash my IT budget, without compromising the efficiency of the organization, maybe by 10%. No, obviously, he cannot articulate this, or he isn't ready to articulate. So often, the true issue is not what the buyer first tells you. It's your job to get to the heart of the objection and then fully understand it and its true source. Where is the buyer coming from? When he says, I got this from Dell, from some other partner, and it was just 6 months before, and you were giving me a solution which is even downsized compared to what I saw in terms of capabilities and possibilities. And, it's like twice the price. So understand the true source. Understand uh, maybe there is an affinity for the finance head working with a specific brand, or maybe working with a specific partner, quite possible. So understand the true source. And how you do that? You can ask questions to understand. So to do this, have his or her permission to understand and explore the issue. From there, restate the concern as you understand it. Sir, as I understand, you had raised three objections, if I may call it, or three observations, sir, if I may call it. One is in terms of the efficiency. The other is, the fitment to the business case. The third piece is somewhere, I mean, you feel it's a little overpriced. It's a. So did I understand you correctly? Sometimes when you restate the objection, the buyer sees the issue more fully. Right? And you may say, sir, if I have to just state this in the right order, is number one the business fitment? Is number two the price? Is number three the other one? And this is where you can even help the buyer also to see the issue more fully, or get closer to the true source of the objection. Remember, he is willing to buy, and that's the reason there's a meeting that's happening. So make sure you have the objection right. Even if the buyer says, yes, that's exactly what my issue is, there's often still more to it. In this case, put that objection aside for a moment and ask, what else? And what else is such a powerful question to dig deep into somebody's mind. So, if I may ask, what else is bothering you? What else does that affect? What else is getting in the way of moving forward? What else is on your mind, sir? And believe in me, often it is the answer to the last what else that contains the biggest barrier to moving the sale forward. Even after the buyer confirms you understand perfectly, ask what else and why questions for clarification. As I said, it's the answer to that last what else that contains the biggest objection you need to overcome to move it. But unless you cover all of the other what else options, the barriers continue to exist. And in a way, you are helping peeling off, what the customer was articulating as a possible objection. You are peeling one of it to the other. You have his permission to ask questions. I think there will be a very intense and engrossing session where we'll say, my objection, as I said, is there's no business fitment. What else? Price. What else? I have seen better. What else? I don't think, you guys are the best bet for the solution that we are talking. What else? The model that you're talking about in terms of the contracting and the pricing, that doesn't work out. We are looking at a pay-as-you-grow model. Oh, that's fantastic, sir. What else? And you have given a project timeline of 3 months, and I want this to be done as of yesterday. Oh, wonderful, sir. What else? And that's where he say, I got this huge export order that's lined up. There are guys who are coming to check out, how great in terms of our infrastructure and how as an organization we are well prepared to handle this entire piece. And it's like a 5 years contract for us. And I just cannot say that you don't come in the next month and the next month, because my partner is going to take 3 months to have this built in. So that's when possibly, the objection is coming in terms of the price, which is getting covered or masked in terms of the others that was articulated. So once you get to the final objection, start to resolve from the bottom up. And that's where we will get into the next session of how to respond and respond properly. So guys, asking questions to understand and what else without rushing and keeping asking until the real issue emerges is a very key to get into the bottom of the true objection. So let's look at respond and how can we respond properly. After you are confident that you have uncovered all the objections, you address the most important objections first. Maybe the most important objection was a 90-day project plan. And once you work through that greatest barrier to move forward, other concerns may no longer matter or feel as important to the buyer. You should do your best to resolve their issue right away if possible. The more effectively you can resolve issues in real time, the greater chance you have of moving the sale forward. If you need more information to resolve a specific concern, you may have to look something up or investigate further. But don't generally give a lip service. Don't wing it, because the buyer's sense. Don't just go and say something and say that 90 days, oh, sir, 60 days, 65 days is possible, sir. Does that work? It may create distrust. So abrupt responses may seem insincere. So your responses has to be clear and to the point. You may just have to go and say, a couple of hours, can I just use your meeting room, or can I just have a quick meeting, all my solution architects and my project team, come back with the best that's possible without compromising any beat of the infra thing that we the plan that we had proposed, right? So respond properly. And moving into this, you need to confirm you have satisfied the objection. And how to do? Once you have responded to the buyer's objections, it's time to check if you have satisfied all of their concerns, right? So we started with 1, 2, and 3. You talked about 4th, which is like, we may not be the best guys to do this. And then, you said that if we were the best guys, we could have done it very fast instead of 90 days. So I understand, the timeline is of supreme importance to your business. So this is the moment where it's time to check if you have satisfied all of their concerns. Just because they nodded during your response, that doesn't mean they agreed with everything you said. And ask if the customer or buyer is happy with your solution. You won't know if you don't ask. So ask. Sometimes you need to go through a process to overcome sales objections rather than a quick answer or a aha moment. If the buyer isn't ready, don't try to force a commitment. Be sure not to accept a lukewarm yes for an answer either. Many buyers will accept a solution in the moment, but once they're out of the site or off from the phone or the screen, the objection still remains. And often we pick up a lukewarm yes and we put it back in our systems, in our CRMs, and say, yes, the issue is sorted out, but it wasn't a true yes. And that reflects on our pipeline as sellers. Things later on anyway do not move forward. We go wrong in terms of predicting that opportunity, and I think we cut a sorry figure inside the organization as well. So now let's look at some of the strategies for responding to money objections. So to overcome money objections, without lowering your margins, and that's very key, right? Money objections are not equivalent to negotiations. Negotiation is part of a sales process, a legitimate process where the customer would obviously negotiate mostly on the price, having other terms, other specifications, other project plans, all finalized. So to overcome money objections without lowering your margins, you have to keep some of these guidelines in mind. And an important mindset is not to cave. So choose your words wisely. Don't come off as defensive. Keep your emotions out of the equation. And as much as you might like to respond, you get what you pay for. Or those are our fees and we are worth every penny, every rupee. Don't do that. Your impulsive answer, maybe an arrogant response, I can't take anything more from my customer, doesn't work out. So choose your words wisely, because once thrown, it cannot be taken back. It's not all about the money. So as we said, we need to work to uncover the real objection, right? And we saw different, we're going to see some 6 types of money objection shortly. So ask questions, find out if money is really the issue. If money, and you can ask something, one of my pet questions, if money wasn't an object, if money wasn't the issue, what then? And this will usually lead you to the root objection of the sale, as we had seen in asking questions to understand. Get back to the value piece, communicate a clear picture of the value of the solution you established in the selling process. Cover the need, cover the urgency, build the trust, show the differentiation. The right buyer can usually find the money if the value is too strong to pass up. And I'm sure all of us have experienced, right? That budget isn't a constraint. And if the solution you have proposed answers their needs especially well, then definitely it isn't a constraint. Most times when buyers say your price is too high, what they're really saying is, I don't see the value of your solution. And ask, which part don't you want? Right. So whether it is, there could be a specific piece of, let's say, security. There could be things like a specific plan or an application that you have been talking about, of an additional database and all. So which part may be done? There are certain things in the plan, maybe in our just to sell a little high, we had put in out there. So which part you don't want, right? And don't ever talk about cost structure. There are a lot of customers who will say, break it up and say, okay, your infra is this, your server is this, your network is this, your cloud-based migration cost is this, your usage cost is this, security application cost is this. So getting too deep into a cost structure is a very slippery path, and to be handling it very carefully, and take some expert guidance in terms of how not to just bare bone and give the cost structure. Don't drop price in a vacuum, right? Suddenly you go and give a 5% discount. That doesn't work, and it is not negotiation. Be careful. We are talking about objections, right? So hold on your price, right? As we said, price possibly isn't the only concern that's being talked about right now, or it may not be the concern at all. Maintain a peer relationship. The moment you say, okay, let me talk to my boss, can I go out and take a call, and 15 minutes I come back, you are losing credibility. So while you may be doing it at the back end, but you're handling in such a way that you are in full control of the transaction. So maintain a peer relationship. You may be talking with the finance head, that gives a peer relationship. So you have to be, don't succumb that, I'm talking to a personality who's like a CFO and I'm just a sales guy with 5 years of experience. You can always be taking your identity up and managing a peer relationship. Be sure you're talking to the decision maker. Often there are avatars in the organization. Somebody who's the evaluator often will put up an avatar and say, the buck stops here. You just give me the price, give me 5% discount, and I think we are through. I can get you the PO the next 2 days. That doesn't happen. Make sure you're talking to the decision maker who is the approver or at least the business driver in this case of your deal, and deal with the competitor challenge, right? So obviously you need to be mindful about and have all the insights, all the intel that can help you address those challenges, not just in terms of the offering, but the way they are making it easy to buy, the way they are structuring their contracts, the way possibly they're delivering something now and the other piece later. And you need to be carrying those intels and go ahead and offer those terms. Obviously, with due consent from your own organization, offer financing, offer payment terms, wherever you can work out something on the contract part of it and make it easy for them to buy. Could be done, but again, you are not doing it with an attitude of caving. You are going to build value, because when you offer a financing, somebody has to pay for the interest. When you offer a payment terms, right, somebody has to, there's some cash flow that's getting lost. There's some interest that maybe not factored as easily as a direct payment would have happened, right? So there could be different response strategies, and you just need to be mindful about this piece. Now let's look at the many flavors of money objections. And this is an interesting piece. What do people say when actually, they talk about money, but they may be meaning something else. And money objections, they come in different flavors. They often mean something entirely different. So we need to get to the heart. Let's say a whack back. So what if the buyer says, wow, that is a lot, 1 crore plus, that's a lot. Can we do it for less? What it means possibly is, this comes from the buyer who always asks for a price reduction because it has worked for him in the past. And the philosophy is very simple, that it can't hurt to ask, right? What is wrong in asking? So it's a typical whack back you will get as an objection from a lot of buyers. The next piece is what we may call as bluffing. What the buyer says, oh, tight control. We are very scarce on our cash flows, on our money. And he says, I don't have that money. We'll need to do it for less. Now, what this means possibly is the buyer has the money, but doesn't want you to know that. And it's a ploy to see how low he will go. Quite simple. So a lot of these calls may be bluff calls. The next piece could be a value challenge. The buyer says it costs too much. Money is going to be a problem. What he actually meant is he doesn't see the value your solution delivers. Perhaps they can't justify spending more than they did previously. And this is what we covered in terms of why act, why now, why us, and why trust in our value proposition class. The next piece could be a budget pushback. What the buyer says is it's not in the budget. What it means, now there are many options that can happen. If it is true, and they would like to see what can be worked out. A second option could be it's true, and they're using that as a bargaining chip. And the third option, it's not true, and they're just saying it. How do you understand? Ask questions, use those strategies, go into the depth, and figure out what exactly this budget pushback entails. Competitor pressure. What the buyer says, we received other proposals and your price is the highest. I think often heard, probably in every deal. What it means, yeah, it could be true, and they're using that as a bargaining chip. Or it's not true, or at least not the whole truth. And often we have seen that. There's another flavor that the customer says, we are done. Too much money. Call me back if you can go lower. what it means. It's a bluff, could be. They assume you'll come back with a lower price, or it could be it's not a bluff. They hope you will lower price to do business. So it is important for us to follow the strategies, we just covered in our earlier part of the discussion for dealing with each of these types of money objections. So responding to money objections, our mantra is trade, don't cave. Don't counter immediately. Don't jump into assuming something and respond to what the customer said. Control your emotions. Your emotional intelligence is extremely sensitive to a lot of this objection, managing sales objections conversations. Set expectations that this is not a negotiating the price part of it. We are just saying that this is the best fit of the solution and we are given a price and we are just here to understand, are there any barriers that are existing from the current state to the state where we can get a PO, right? And negotiation is a part of it, and it's a separate process done by certain, experts, maybe some procurement guys who anyway have a mandate to, in their KPIs to push down prices by 1, 2, 3%. And I think all of us factor that in our commercials. Ask questions, and we saw how important it is to ask questions, especially the what else questions. Find out what the objection is really about. Focus on objectives and value over price. Please make sure that you're talking about the value proposition that you bring in through your brand, your category of the service or product that you are giving, and more importantly, you as a person, the way you are conducting and helping the customer move forward in the buying journey. And offer trades or reduced scope if you must make concessions. If you have to make a concession, don't just reduce the price. You absolutely must be indicating that, okay, I may take this part of the project out. Okay, so instead of, full-fledged technology refresh, can we look at, some bit of, virtual interfaces, VDIs, involved in this, which may be able to do that. Or instead of X licenses or, Y instances, I then need to be trading it differently around that. So trade, don't give, trade for value, don't drop price in a vacuum, and don't get bullied, guys. So that's all in today's masterclass. But before that, I would like you to carry forward a little exercise, and you can do this in your free time. Take a moment, identify the top objections you hear during your sales conversations, and list them down. Use the buyer's words, not your words, exactly as you hear them. List all of them down. Just give yourself this 15 minutes and list all of them down. And then level each of this objection in either of this, the NUTS, the need, urgency, trust, and money, right? And I'll be too happy to hear back from you on the exercise that you have done. And like always, the nice thing about a masterclass, it comes with a quiz that's going to follow. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be tough. And I'm sure some of you have come up with flying colors in the earlier masterclasses and have achieved the certificate of excellence from Rain Group. So wishing you all the best. Make sure you drop in to the link and respond as fast as is possible till the mind is very fresh. And as I said, you can work on your exercise and have this mailed across to the email ID that's mentioned out here. And together, let us manage sales objections very, very differently. Thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaushik. That was indeed insightful. I'm sure all of us have a lot to learn from it. With that, it's time now for the Quizimodo Challenge by Alok Verma, who's founder and facilitator, Success Tea Consultants. He is a speaker who's inspired positive change in the lives of his audience for almost a decade. And with his team, is known to create some of the best learning experiences in India. Today's quiz will be a mix of general awareness, sports trivia, technology, and Bollywood. So it's quiz time.
Good day, everyone. Let's get started with some action in this session today. And I'm Alok, and we are getting started right now. So first things first, if those who are seeing this for the second time know that I would check your energy before we get started. That's a very important criteria for me because I need to ensure all of you participate. So to check the energy this time, I have some set of questions. All you have to do is to just be ready on your keyboard. And when I ask you the question, write yes or write me in the chat. I'll just give you 5 questions and I want to see how many of you are alive and how many of you are ready and listening to this session. Okay, my first question is that how many of you love mountains over the sea beach? Write me in the chat. That's my first question. How many of you love mountains over the beach? Let's know each other a little better. Great. My second question is, how many of you love sea beaches over the mountains? So those who prefer sea beaches, write me in the chat now. Give you 5 more seconds. Great. My third question is, let's know who are the pet lovers in the house? Who has a pet in the house? Write pet in the chat, P-E-T, pet. So we know how many pet lovers are there in this group right now. Okay, great. Now, very important question. This is like really doing rounds in the market. How many of you would prefer to work from home after your experience in the pandemic? Anybody is there who prefers to work from home? You can write me in the chat. Okay, and my last question is that how many of you would love to go to office? So those who don't like work from home would love to go to office. Write me in the chat, or you can write office in the chat. Great. So now, since most of us are alive and we are ready to get started, we are setting up the stage for the Quizimodo challenge. I would share a couple of slides here to tell you about the activity brief, a little bit of introduction about the activity, and then we straight away get into the session. Few things which I would tell you that when the activity starts, we'll give you a link or a code to actually log in. But if somebody misses out, or if you have just gone out for a break and come back and see the game has started, you see in the bottom of the screen, there would always be this link or the link would be there in the chat so that you can actually log in again. Any time you can log in, you can proceed with the game from wherever it is. So that's the beauty of this game. So let me share my screen and I would show you a few PPTs so that, we can set up the stage and we can get it started. All right. So this is the Quizimodo challenge. Yes, this is the environment of the Kaun Banega Crorepati, but yeah, we are not having a 1 million or 10 lakh rupees prize, but definitely we are having a prize to this time. So the winners, the top 3 winners would be sharing a prize value of 5,000 rupees. So it is not just a game, it is a place where you can actually make some real money in way of vouchers. So 5,000 rupees to be distributed in the top 3 winners today. So sit tight and watch my slides. Here you go. Okay, the first thing I would like to request is that, as Plato said, you can discover more about a person in an hour of play than an year of conversation. So time is to play. Just get into your play zone. My request is to get into the play mode and start participating, because then you will have the most of the fun. Questions will be a mix of different trivia, of sports, of Bollywood, of even of Dell. So we'll see who knows what. It's the time to test your knowledge. Okay. So the objective is very simple. You have to score as many points as possible and to have as much fun as possible. All right. Second thing, you have to have this quiz structure in place, which is very simple. Just one round. So we'll start straight away and then get to the end directly. There are roughly 42 questions. Last time, I remember we were able to do some 25 questions. So it's completely on your speed, how fast you go and how many questions you can attend. That totally decides the results. It would be roughly around 18 minutes of time in the whole game time I'm looking at. There is no skip options and there are no negative markings as well. So You can attempt and try out all the questions which are there. In fact, after the questions, you'll also get to see the results. There is a way of learning as well. Even if you've gone wrong on a question, in the results you'll find out that okay, there are the right answers. Enter your full name. Now that's very important, because with the full name, the first name and the last name, when you enter in the game, when you open the link, it will ask for your name. So put the full name there, because that's only the way we can identify you. There can be two people who are called Alok, so it's very difficult to know who is Alok. So write to your last name as well. And now what would happen in the chat, my team is going to share a link to you. You just have to click the link. You can click the link on your laptop, you can click the link on your mobile device, or can try if you're logged in from mobile as well. So this can open on a mobile browser, a Chrome browser, a Safari browser, even if you have any device phone, or on the laptop, Windows, Apple, any device, just open it on the browser. And the first thing you will do is enter your first and the last name and click submit or click go, so that I can see you in the backend that you have logged in. So now I'm going to give you exactly 60 seconds for doing this. That the link is already there in the chat. Click the link and enter your name there. I'm waiting for you, and I'm stopping to share my screen. And in the meantime, I'll fire up the game from behind. Great, I can see some people are coming here, waiting for more to join. Go ahead, click the link. It's right in the chat towards your right hand side of the screen. Go ahead and click there, and then we will soon get the game started. Okay, I can see a few more people have joined in. Okay, somebody has just written the first name. I would request you to, if you have written just the first name, please close the browser, click on the link again, and then enter your first name and last name. That's a very important criteria, because imagine you have won the prize, but there are two people who were with the same name and somebody else gets the money. That won't be fun. So please enter your full name, and then we'll get it started. 30 more seconds, waiting for all to join, and then we'll fire this up. Okay, 50 more seconds. I think we have quite some people here now. I'll start the game. Even if you have not done it later, you can still log in through the same link. The game will accept you after it started as well. 10 more seconds. Fantastic. So let's be ready. In 5 seconds, I'm going to fire this up. And here we go. It is starting now. And it is coming on your screen very soon. And here comes the first question on your screen. Have a look. It's a Dell question. Question is, what year did Dell Technologies go public? Was it 2011? Was it 16? Was it 2021 or 2018? When did Dell Technologies go public? We have some 15 seconds left. The time is going down and down. And we have some 3 seconds left now. All right, and here you go. The right answer is 2018, and we'll find out how many of you have given the right answer very soon. The second question is, the first Indian sound film, was it Alamara? Was it Raja Harishchandra? Was it Kishan Kanhaiya? And was it none of the above? What is the right answer? It's a very popular question. I think I heard it in my school days, that which was the first Indian sound film. And you have some 3 seconds left in this question. Be with me, and now you should click somewhere, and the right answer is Alam Ara. That was the first option. Great. The leaderboard is started moving, and the third question is here. What is always in front of you but can't be seen? Is it air? Is it gravity? Is it future, or is it past? That's very interesting. What is always in front of you and you cannot see it? Some interesting guesses are coming. Okay, yes, some 10 seconds left on this question as well. By the way, some questions have lesser time as well. Some questions are just 15 seconds long, so just watch that out. Don't wait for 30 seconds for each question. And time's up. The answer is future, ladies and gentlemen. So this was the right answer. Listen to this song and guess the movie. मेरे सपनों की रानी, किस पिक्चर का गाना है ये? इज इट खामोशी, दो रास्ते, द ट्रेन और आराधना? Okay, lot of guesses coming in. Very popular song, Rajesh Khanna and that mouth organ. Yes, the right answer is Aradhana movie, and Sharmila Tagore was in the train in this scene. Great. Next question is, where is this awesome opera house? Is it California? Is it Malaysia? Is it Sydney? Is it Brussels? Where is this beautiful opera house made? California, Malaysia, Sydney, or Brussels? Let's see who does. 5 seconds left. This is getting faster. Okay. And the right answer is Sydney. Yes, I can see some development in the leaderboard. Great movement. Okay, interesting. The movie question. What is the name of this character? Was it Cyrus? Was it Citrus? Was it Bowman Irani or Virus? Remember, this is the name of the character. That's very important. I'm not asking his real name. What was the name of this character in the movie Three Idiots? Cyrus, Citrus, Bowman Irani, or Virus? I know some of us are giggling because this was one of the favorite movies of a lot of people, and the time is up. Yes, a lot of you guessed it right. It is Virus. That was a name given by the students of the college. Okay, another song. Uh, who is the singer? Very talented singer. Was it Shreya Ghoshal? Was it Sunidhi Chauhan? Was it Dhinchak Pooja or Palak Munchal? Who is the singer of this song? Selfie Mere Le Liya. 3 seconds left and the time is up. Yes, those who guessed it right, it is Dhinchak Pooja. She sang some couple of very interesting songs. Okay, here is a question from Dell. What's the revenue milestone that Dell crossed recently? Is it 15 billion US dollars? Is it 100 billion? Is it 200 billion? Or is it 500 billion US dollars? Let's see how much we know for our brand. What is the revenue milestone that Dell crossed recently? That's the question. 10 seconds left in this one. 50, 100, 200, or 500 billion. What is the number? And the right answer is 100 billion US dollars. That's incredible. And I can see some right answers. Listen to this. Who is the commentator? Is it Akash Chopra, Sanjay Manjrekar, Ravi Shastri, or Harsha Bhogle? Cricket fans calling you out. Who was the commentator first? Yes, that was Ravi Shastri was commenting first, and then I think there was some foreigner who commented. Okay, next question. The Indian film actress and model who was also crowned Femina Miss Universe contest is Priyanka Chopra, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Sushmita Sen, or Madhuri Dixit. Who was the Indian film actress who was also crowned as Femina Miss Universe? And she went for international Miss Universe as well. Priyanka Chopra, Aishwarya Rai, Sushmita, Madhuri. 10 seconds left. Give your options quickly, and time's up. It is Sushmita Sen. All Sushmita Sen fans. That's the right answer. Here comes the next one. This is the popular logo, the Olympic rings. What are the symbol of? What does the 5 rings mean? Is it the 5 continents? Is it 5 original countries that participate? The 5 great city states or 5 Patriot Super Bowl wins? What does the 5 actual rings represent? 5 rings, Olympic. Who knows the answer? What are these? Yes. And the right answer is 5 continents. Yes, 5 continents is represented through these 5 rings. Listen to this. Very emotional dialogue. Who is this? Is it Ranbir Kapoor, Ayushmann Khurrana, So late Sushant Singh Rajput or Irfan Khan? Very intense and emotional dialogue. Yes, it was Sushant Singh Rajput, a very unique voice, a legend who is no more with us. That is his voice. Okay, next question is that what question can you never answer yes to? ऐसा कौन सा क्वेश्चन है जिसका जवाब कभी हाँ में हो ही नहीं सकता? Do you like me? Are you sleeping? Do you like the show? Do you know who am I? Interesting question, intense question. What can be the question which can never be answered as yes? Do you like me? Are you sleeping? Do you like the show? Or do you know who I am? Yes, those who are now guessing, I can open up the cards. The answer is the second one. Are you sleeping? If you're really sleeping, you can never answer that question. Okay, the leaderboard is moving in a very interesting way. Here comes the next question. What happens in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in a lifetime? What is that thing? Can happen in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in a lifetime. Is it tomorrow? Is it the letter M, yesterday, or the letter E? This is a simple one. Yes. Okay, 5 seconds left. I'm getting some answers here quickly, very fast, people. All right, and the time is up. The letter M is the right answer. It comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in a lifetime. Okay, this question is from Dell. Dell Technologies was originally founded as PC Unlimited, PCs Limited, PC Limited, or Dell Limited. Wow. I was not aware of this as well. What was the original name of Dell Technologies? PC Limited, Unlimited, PCs Limited, PC Limited, or Dell Limited? Let's see who knows the brand well. Okay, 3 seconds left and time's up. The answer is PCs Limited. That's the answer. PCs Limited was the original name. Okay, now here's a mathematical question. Divide 30 by 1 by 2 and add 10. What is the answer? Read it again. Divide 30 by 1 by 2, which is half, and add 10. What is the answer? Was it 70? Is it 25? Is it 20? Is it 30? I'm really looking for the mathematical geniuses in the room to give me the right answer to this one, because this is a little tricky and the time is almost up. The answer is 70, because when you divide 1 by 1, 30 by 1 by 2, the 2 will go up, become 60. Okay, next question. To whom Greeks dedicated Olympic Games in the ancient times? Was it Apollo? These are all the names of their god. Demeter, Zeus, or Hera? Who they devoted the Olympic Games to? Who was the god? Time's up, and the name is Zeus. They did the third option, C. Okay, again another mathematical one. How many zeros in 10 million? 5, 6, 7, or 8? Time is up. It's a fast one, and the answer is 7. It's a 15-second question. Okay, next one coming your way. Deepa Karmakar is related to which game? Shot put, badminton, or gymnastics? Deepa got a bronze medal for India in the Olympics. Very proud moment for the country. But what was she playing? Was she playing shot put or badminton or gymnastic? You have 10 seconds left. And let's see who gets the right answer for the sports star. Okay, and time is up. It is gymnastic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next question. Wow, what a movement in the leaderboard. Great. Which of the following land areas is between the eastern and the western mountains? All geography fans, raise your hands. This is a question for you. Which of the following land areas is between eastern and western Ghats mountain? Thar Desert, Indus Valley, Deccan Plateau, or Himalayas? Which one is this? This is an original picture of that area as well. So, okay, the time is 3 seconds left. And the right answer is Deccan Plateau. All those who have done right are skipping up on the, listen to the song now. We have 2 more questions left. Okay, which movie does this song belong to? Is it Ek Tha Tiger? Is it Phantom? Is it Subh Mangal Savdhan? Or is it Mission Mangal? Very popular item number, dance number, but which is the movie in which this song was there? That's the question. Time is up, and that was Phantom. Saif Ali Khan, that's where the song was there. Okay. How many systems were shipped by Dell, are shipped by Dell on average? Now that's a very interesting question. How many systems are shipped by Dell on average? More than one per minute or more than one per second? Who will you make the right guess? Just two options. More than one per minute or more than one per second. That's Dell on average global number. What is the number? Time is 5 seconds left and it's up. It's more than one per second. That's crazy. Incredible amount of systems being manufactured by the brand. Next question. What is the least populated country in the world? Least populated country in the world. We are amongst the most, but yes, there are some very less populated places. Is it Tuvalu, Liechtenstein, San Marino, or Vatican City? Okay, and 3 seconds left. The answer is Vatican City. Is so small. It's very small land. Very few people are there. You can't go and stay for long there as well. Now, next question. What is the name of the vehicle in which Scooby-Doo and his friends travel in? Is it Bumblebee, the Mean Machine, the Mystery Machine, or the Gadget Mobile? Okay, 10 seconds left. Now, 6, 4, 5. Okay, 3, 1, gone. And the last answer is going to be Mystery Machine. Scooby-Doo fans, here comes the last question, guys. My thickness is no more than a few centimeters, yet my depth can span to infinity. Although mundane, I intimidate most animals. When in my presence, you will be inevitably follow me. What am I? That's interesting. Is it a human? Is it an animal imitator or a mirror or a glass? We have some more time for this question. A lot of reading involved, 45 seconds window. But yes, looks like we have some 12 seconds left now. Thickness is no more than a few centimeters, yet my depth can span to infinity. What can that be? I can see some answers popping here, which means people are giving answers. Okay, and the time is up. It is the mirror. A mirror can span to infinity. Okay, let me take one more question, just the last one for you. Okay, who was the first man to walk in space? Was it Buzz Aldrin? Was it Buzz Lightyear? Was it Alexei Leonov? Was it Neil Armstrong? Who was the first man to walk in space? Okay, waiting for more answers. We have got a couple of them. Yes. All right. 10 seconds left. And it is getting over now. All right, that brings us to the end of the session. I'm turning off the game and it will show you end game on your screen. You already have an idea that who is going to the winner because every time the leaderboard was spinning and you were seeing who was on the top. But yes, the results vary and they depend upon the way you have answered the question and at the speed which you have answered the question. Very soon the results will be out and we'll share the names and the full names if you have given of the first 3 winners. That is the end of the Quizimodo challenge today. I hope you enjoyed it and I love the participation and the speed at which you were actually giving the answers. Thank you so much for being here today and thank you so much for giving such amazing answers. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Arlo. Now that did get our gray cells churning, wouldn't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? We thank you all very much for having taken our time out today to join us. Our team will be in touch with you for your certificates for the masterclass, and we will also share with you the details on the quiz winners. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found today's episode of the SalesAcumen Masterclass on effective steps to transition from CapEx solution sales and service solution sales useful and insightful. We thank you all once again for joining us today on behalf of Dell Technologies, Intel, Strategy, and SalesAcumen, and look forward to welcoming you at our upcoming masterclasses, conferences, and webinars. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and do enjoy the rest of your day.